Enjoyed it? Didn't enjoy it? Was it hard to read? Were there things that you related to specifically with his story, or the things that he's doing that you see yourself doing?
We were saying earlier, we was talking about like these little hustles. Everybody got their own little hustles to make money.
Right.
And I thought it was kind of cool because he was making his money since middle school. I was thinking I could do that.
Right.
I was doing that.
Yeah.
So
last time I came here, you guys asked me some questions. You asked me about like, some people ask me about like, how do you become a rapper? Or like, what do I got to do to make it in music? I feel like the reasons why we are prone to ask those questions because that's all we see. The successful people that we see are rappers, basketball players, so usually that's where our dreams lie. The thing I like that he touched on is that we have to step outside of that and find a vision. So you might want to be a rapper, okay, that's fine. But there's specific skill sets that you might have inspiring you to want to chase your dreams more. But then it help you identify your dreams. Yeah? What do you want to do?
me personally, I'm not gonna say what exactly I want to do because I don't know if I want to say it out loud to everybody.
Okay.
I'm finding myself as I really quick. I'm finding how I want to do what I want to do.
That's great. That's incredible. Oh, you want to be on the other side of the table? It's incredible, man. Have you always known that's what you wanted to do, or did you find this recently? You don't want to do it? What made you want to do that? First 48?
And so this book is really, I thought it was a great selection because it talks a lot about how he came up, but it also talks, I feel like his rules show a lot about how he grew up through the industry.
You have to figure out what you want to do. So you want to stay educated and figure out what you want to do in that time period.
Have you decided what you want to do or have an idea?
I wanted to do like be a computer programmer or computer engineer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good way to go.
So I can speak personally to certain things I was doing in my life to get myself educated and to learn more, because I was actually serious about. I did rule number one, which was find my path and my inspiration and the thing that I'm inspired about. And then it was so strong of a passion that I did these other rules without even knowing they were rules. So in terms of rule number 3, when I was young, you guys' age, maybe young at 13, 14, I knew I loved rap. I wanted to make music. So how do I make music? I wanted to figure out how the guys on the radio made those songs, because I was unaware. All I had was the rapping down. I see the actual beat machine that makes these beats that I hear on the radio. So I'm asking questions about this beat machine. Now I want one. I don't even know the first thing about making beats, but I decided I want to get a beat machine. So I get a beat machine. That's the first example of how I took that step. Another example is after I got to New York City and I wanted to get in the music industry, I knew nothing about the music industry at all. So I didn't want to work in the music industry, but I knew I wanted to be an artist. So what did I do? I went and got an internship working for free at Interscope Records in the radio department. I didn't want to work in the radio department in my life, but I knew if I could just get my foot in the door, I could learn something about the way the industry works. So, you know, that all boils down to education. I was educating myself by using my resources. He doesn't even necessarily mean college. He just means whatever resources you have around you to learn. If you want to be a comedian, there's a comedy club somewhere in Fayetteville. If you want to be a doctor, there's a doctor somewhere in Fayetteville that can tell you what you need to do to get there. You know, there's resources available for whatever you want to do with your life. And he's saying, I think rule number 3, walk this way, is you have to tap into those things and educate yourself on what it is that you're passionate about.
Dreamville, to me, is like a blessing.
It's incredible.
It's a blessing. I thank you,
Thank you, man. That's good.
I thank you a lot for creating for all of it.
That's incredible, man. And just the fact that you're saying that, I know, so before you said before the book club, you weren't reading much.
I didn't read it all.
At all. So the fact that you're telling me that, just hearing you talk earlier about the importance of reading, and of course, I know that from when we started 6 months ago to now, it's not like you read a ton of books.
Right.
But the fact that you acknowledge how important it is, you know what I mean? The fact that you said something really smart earlier. You said that if there's something you want to do, there's a book out there that tells you exactly how to do it. You just got to go read that book. You know what I mean? There's a book for everything. And the fact that you acknowledge that, you know, I got chills when you're saying that, because that's you know, that's incredible. So thank you for that.
Okay. Second letter at college, where I wouldn't even be right now. Crying for tears. I just want to see our young men take reading from the perspective of you coming in and really sharing your story with them and the power of reading. When I see these young men, I see the future.
Absolutely.
And a lot of everything that you guys have done for us this year.
Thank you, man. I'm going to put this up in the crib immediately. I appreciate that.
And we want to wish you the best of luck on that new album.
Yeah. Oh, you know, this is great.